So look, if you're in the business of getting people's attention, meaning you're on camera, you're writing, you're talking, you're speaking, you're selling, if that's your business, the one kiss of death for you is to be boring. You cannot be boring. Anything but be boring. Where did this topic come from? Yesterday, I'm doing my private monthly webinar with 75 entrepreneurs from around the world, and they asked me questions. We go for 90 minutes. One of the guys is talking about starting his own podcast, starting his own YouTube channel. While he's talking about this, I start asking him crazy questions. I said, so tell me, what is the craziest opinion you have? What are your thoughts about this? What are your thoughts about that? And he's giving me his stuff. Well, I'm like, yeah, maybe, okay, that's interesting. And I'm listening to him. I said, look, if you're trying to make it on TV, YouTube, if you're trying to make it on the screen, if you're trying to make it on writing, if you're trying to make it on audio, you cannot be boring. Think about personalities out there. And by the way, I'll explain the difference between running a company that is repetitively boring, same system, and I'll talk about personality. If you think about a Jeff Bezos, you watch Jeff Bezos' interviews, many of them people may say he's boring, right? Oh my gosh, he's so boring to listen to his interview. And here's also a guy that's built a company that has turned into a behemoth of a company based on repetitively doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. But they have mastered the system and they're not bored to do the same thing over and over and over again. Because if you get too creative with the system, you may lose your business. But he may be boring as an individual and it doesn't serve him on camera. Now watch another one here. Elon Musk. You ever seen an interview with Elon Musk? He says the most random things. I'd like to die on Mars, just not on collision. What do you mean? He wants to live there and die on Mars. Now, who says things like this, right? You're going to die on Mars. If you look at people on social or TV, you know, or presidency, Trump, very entertaining. He ain't boring, right? Biden, boring, okay? Hillary Clinton, boring. Bill Clinton, not boring. GW, George Bush, not boring. He's funny, right? Well, you know, you ever hear that thing that says, you know, if they go in, you know what I'm saying, you know, and you're like, wait a minute, this guy's hilarious, but his father may be boring. Jeb Bush, boring. This is not political. Obama, not boring. This has nothing to do with your political beliefs. This has to do with how you present yourself. If you're in the business of getting attention, sales, negotiation, interviewing, writing, you know, podcast, whatever you do, do not be boring. Now, let me kind of take this a little bit deeper with you, and hopefully this will make sense to you. You may say, Pat, what do I do to not be boring? Well, think about the next time you're watching somebody speak and immediately you change it. Why did you change it? What caused you to be bored? Okay? What all of a sudden got you to say, I'm not interested in this person? Listen to different people's styles and say, why does Rogan interest me? Why do I like listening to Tucker Carlson? Why do I like Jon Stewart? Why are these people funny to me? Why am I not turned on by an Anderson Cooper maybe? Why am I not turned on by a Rachel Maddow? Why am I not turned on by a whoever may be on? Why am I not turned on by some of these guys? Because the audience is wanting to be entertained while you're delivering the message. This is the whole reason why we call this channel Valuetainment, because the hardest message to deliver online is what? Value education. People don't go on YouTube to watch value and educational videos. People go on YouTube to watch entertaining videos, music, cat videos, comedy, pranks. They watch these types of things. They don't go on there to say 7 keys to this. You can't teach people things if you're not entertaining. You have to figure out a way to constantly add that spice of being entertaining. How can you be entertaining? If you're interviewing somebody or sitting down with somebody, you go on a date, ask inquisitive questions. Don't ask the boring questions. What are the 3 keys to success? Ask some questions that people have been asked before. That guy asked me something I didn't even think about. Yesterday, I'm interviewing a guy who wrote a book called Harbinger. By the end of the interview, he was flabbergasted. He's like, you know, you kind of took me by surprise. No one's ever asked me those 3 questions before. And he's like, so can you again send me some stuff? I don't know who you are. Can you send? So, I mean, this is, but you're remembering and you're walking around saying, I want to come back and I want to have this conversation. I had Yanomi Park here yesterday, who lived in North Korea. She's a defector. Only 200 are in the U.S. that are defectors. You know why she's here yesterday? Because she's not boring. I'm sitting listening to this person deliver their message. It's not boring. So again, going back to you. If you're watching the same path, I have no desire to create content. I have no desire to create anything, writing, audio, nothing, then don't worry about it. But if you are selling, if you are leading, if you are negotiating, if you are doing any of that stuff, you have to figure out a way to be charismatic. I can tell you behind closed doors, there's a bone of charisma with Bezos. You ever seen Bezos laugh? It's weird. On TV, he may be boring. Have you ever seen the way this guy laughs? It is the most unique laugh that he has. And again, if you want to build a big business, if you want to build anything that scales, you got to figure out a way to keep people's attentions. And that one way is to not be boring. There's many ways to go about not being boring. A boring person only talks about themselves. You ever seen these dates that boyfriend and girlfriend, they go on, or blind date, they go on, and you see the guy just saying, well, let me tell you about my job. Let me tell you how successful I am. Let me tell you about what I'm doing. Let me tell you about this. Let me tell you about that. Let me tell you who I am. And you just see the girl's like, and she's texting somebody, her friend, I can't wait to leave. And she says, oh, you know what? I'm going to go use the restroom. She didn't go use the restroom. She just left because she can't sit there and listen to this guy more. A charismatic, entertaining person is going to say, so tell me, oh, wow, how about this? Oh, interesting. They're talking, they're talking, they're talking, they're talking. You become memorable. When they walk away, say, I really like how great of a listener this person was. A quality of somebody who has a lot of charisma, they're great listeners. Charismatic people are listeners. It's not that they talk nonstop. They're great listeners. One way you can do it is by being a great listener and asking good questions. People remember you for doing things like that. So look, you may not have the personality of Obama. You may not have the personality of Trump or Tucker or Jon Stewart or Fallon or any of these guys. What you can do is you can figure out a way to use your own personality to be memorable and do whatever you can but be boring. Having said that, I did a video a couple of years ago at Oheka Castle in New York in a room that was a Charlie Chaplin room, and I decided a video in this room, 11 qualities of childlike that you can be as an entrepreneur. If you've never seen this video before, I highly recommend you watch this. Click over here to watch that, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Have a great week, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.